Hey everyone, before we get into this video, I want to remind you that we are giving away a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Switch bundle. There's a Gleam.io link down in the description. Absolutely free to enter. The only requirement is that you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. I also want to put one disclaimer out there that this entire video is full of potential major spoilers for unannounced characters for Super Smash Bros. So only watch at your own demise. Okay, this is a crazy story, and I'm sure all of you have seen at least some news on this somewhere. Yes, folks, we're talking about the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leak that appears to have leaked the final roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and there are some massive surprise characters and a lot of things that seem to be lining up here that make this legit. Now, obviously, we need to first talk about where the source of this is before we get into it, because it's a leak, obviously a rumor, because nothing's confirmed until we hear it from, someone that we know for sure is who they say they are, or until we hear from Nintendo, basically. But this is as close to a legit leak as you're ever going to see, and it's a leak rather than a rumor, in so much because this wasn't supposed to be public. So this person, I'm not going to name his name. Everyone's been very careful with his name. It is out there if you want to dig into it. But there was a person who posted an image of something on Snapchat to a group of people. And quickly after posting the image, someone in the group noted that he probably shouldn't be telling anyone about this stuff because it's from a place that he works at, and he was just sharing it with friends, and so he quickly deleted the Snapchats. The problem is someone from that group then took it and put it out on 4chan and quickly uploaded it to a Discord server as well. And the thing is this person who originally posted it, it's been confirmed by the people who shared the images all over the place, works at this company that happens to be linked directly with Bandai Namco. It is a promotional company in Europe that works with Bandai Namco and has a long-standing history of creating promotional material for them. Now, in some of the images, there's actually an image of the Grinch and Max from the new movie coming out, and it looks like it might be related to an ornament or some other sort of promotional material for that movie. And this would make a lot of sense because the movie debuts in France on November 28th, which isn't that far away. So promotional material is going out now, especially when we're seeing a lot of trailers and a lot of other promotional and marketing material go out for that, isn't unheard of. So the fact that that's even included in this, and the way the art is done seems to be direct render, seems to have lines on it that are more akin to things related to professional promotional material rather than someone just creating this in Photoshop. Everything seems to be checking out across the line. Well, the big thing that was leaked here that got all the Smash Bros. Stuff going is, as you've already seen in some images, is that there is a wristband included in this promotional material. It looks like, a group of them, but it's just one particular full wristband shown. And on that wristband is an updated and what definitely appears to be a final piece of that everyone is here art. We know that art has been updated as new characters have been added along the way. Well, this appears to be the final one, and there are 7 characters in this art that were not previously in any other pieces of art or previously announced. And again, this is a wristband, so this could be for a media promotional event. It could be for a public promotional event. Maybe they're just wristbands that are going to be handed out with pre-orders of games, stuff like that. There's a zillion reasons for these wristbands to exist. And yes, the company this guy works for is real, does exist. We found out through the person who leaked it, LinkedIn profile, where they work and how this all worked out and how you could have access to this information. And my gosh, the things that have been leaked are insane. So it breaks down to 7 characters, 2 of which appear to be Echo characters, the rest of which appear to be newcomers. Now, first let's start with the Echoes. We have Ken from Street Fighter. I think a lot of people really want Ken, and him being an Echo fighter of Ryu makes a lot of sense. And the other one is Shadow, from Sonic the Hedgehog. Obviously, a clear Echo character of Sonic. Obviously, with the ability to have, one of his moves will have guns in it, of course, because that was one of the big things with Shadow the Hedgehog. But the new characters are crazy. So first off, we have Chorus Kids from Rhythm Heaven. This was actually something that was rumored to be in consideration for Super Smash Bros. On Wii U and 3DS back in the day. So it appears they have made the cut based on this art. There's Gino. I don't know that Gino is the biggest of surprises, but Gino's in there. There's Isaac from the Golden Sun series, which I think is going to excite a lot of people because we haven't seen that RPG around really since like the last game, which came out on DS. And then Mach Rider. Now, what's cool about the Mach Rider thing, which is a game from the NES days, is that Sakurai put up a tweet recently sharing a mech toy that he recently made, and he teased that this is actually related to something he's working on, and that mech toy looks like loosely Mach Rider from the NES. So that's kind of where like some people are drawing a connection there that that character might actually be in there. And when we have obscure characters like Game & Watch and other things, it's not really unheard of for them to just go dive back in the well of Nintendo IPs, grab this really old IP and bring a character out, especially if it's a character Sakurai really likes. And the last one, the one that has me probably the most excited, the one that had me on Twitter tweeting out that if this is real, I might have wet myself, is the inclusion of Banjo and Kazooie. Yes, the Banjo and Kazooie, created by Rare Ltd. Back on the N64, now currently owned by Microsoft, an IP that kind of got ran into the ground after Microsoft bought the company, and there hasn't been a new game in over a decade. And it doesn't appear that Microsoft has any big plans for it. We do know that Phil Spencer has talked publicly how he would, like, it wouldn't even be a question if Nintendo approached them and asked them if they could use Banjo-Kazooie or even Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day, that he would have no issue allowing those characters to be in Smash. Obviously, there's licensing agreements, but those licensing agreements exist with everyone, whether it's, characters from Bandai Namco, which are obviously easier to do since they're the ones that are co-making this game, or characters from Sega and Konami and other companies. Like when you are tag teaming and including these characters, Microsoft's just another company out there that owns the rights to these characters that the person running the Xbox division has no issue with Nintendo touching. So, Banjo-Kazooie. I can't believe I'm actually talking about what appears to be a super legit leak and the inclusion of Banjo-Kazooie. What's next? Conker added as a downloadable character you could purchase later, and if that happens, I think they finally made a downloadable character I'm going to pay money for when I'm completely against piecemealing these characters and not selling them together as a larger DLC. But man, oh man, oh man, this is exciting stuff, and the art looks super, super legit. Some people have broke down the art to try to figure out, how this could be possibly fan-created. Right now, the background of the art is actually what some people are looking at, because the background of the art is basically a completely empty and clear version of Final Destination, of which there are no screenshots and no nothing based on this art available anywhere for a fan to just take it and start throwing characters and custom art on top of. And everything from all the edits and changes in the art to add these characters in, all these items that are in the background still line up exactly where they should, and it makes it really, really hard for someone to Photoshop this and do it and not get caught. The fact that this has been on the internet all day, literally all day, and not one person out there has found one piece of any minuscule evidence that this is fake is astonishing, and I'm just, this is just stunning to me. And if you want further proof that this might be real, so you have the 7 new characters, 2 of them that appear to be Echo Fighters, but 5 newcomers for sure. Well, what do we know from the Koro Koro stages with a leak that came from there? There was a magazine print from Koro Koro that ended up leaking on the internet, and it showed that there were 108 stages, and we only know, we only know about 103 of those stages, basically. So 108, 5 newcomers, you would figure there'd be a new stage based on each newcomer, which gets you to 108 newcomers. Also, with 7 new characters added, this does make a total of 77 characters. And obviously, you have the random slot, which would give you 78 slots in the roster. And that gives you a menu select screen that is 6 by 13. That obviously gives you the original 12 characters as the first line, and then plus Dark Samus or whatever. But yeah, this is, everything's just lining up perfectly for this to be real. And I'm just in complete shock right now. It's not unusual for something from Smash to be leaked. It's not unusual for anything from Nintendo or companies related to Nintendo these days to be leaked. Come on, we knew about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle before E3 even happened last year. We had the official art and the name and everything, and people talking about it for like 9 months on Twitter. So this is stuff we've known about. for a while when it comes to Nintendo stuff just leaking. Pretty much since Switch came out, there's been nothing but a lot of leaks happening. And maybe this is just because Nintendo's been working with a lot of outside companies, where before they kept a lot of things internal, which made it harder to leak out. Well, this is the biggest, I can officially say this is the biggest Super Smash Bros. Leak, I think, in the history of Super Smash Bros. Leaks. We knew about a certain Castlevania character, Simon Belmont. We kind of knew about him ahead of time because Nintendo themselves accidentally leaked some music related to him before the Direct, so we ended up kind of figuring Simon Belmont was going to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, again, even Nintendo's accidentally leaking stuff, not just coming from outside companies. But this accidental leak is crazy. Now, some people might point out that Sakurai said after the last Smash Bros. Direct that we shouldn't expect the pace of character reveals to be maintained. And what had been happening is basically new characters were being revealed like every few weeks. It was going insane from E3 moving forward. And we haven't had a new character reveal since that Direct, which is now over a month old. And if there's not a new character reveal this month, that would still fit within what Sakurai said. He said the pace. He didn't say there wouldn't be a bunch of new characters added. He's saying the pace of the characters being announced would not be the same as it's been. What this likely means is that whenever there's a Smash Direct next month, which I think at this point we know there has to be just because of the one mode of the game, we presume a story mode that hasn't been, unveiled yet, it's possible all of these characters get dropped in there, especially now that this leak has happened and it's all over the internet. It makes it even more likely that you're going to see all 7 of these characters dropped at some point during that Direct. And if one of them isn't, which I would assume it would be something like Banjo-Kazooie, which I think is the biggest surprise character on this whole list, that could be saved for something like the week leading up, right? Like they could just do like a little reveal of Banjo-Kazooie the week leading up. But I think just for hype reasons alone and the fact this is out there, they'll probably just put all 7 in. This is insane. Like, am I really sitting here like 12 minutes into this video and calling this legit? I mean, you guys know me. I'll report on a leak or a rumor or something and critically analyze it and tell you the sources and start tearing it down and deciding if there's enough evidence for this to even be considered to be real, let alone me jumping on Team Real. But I'm there. I'm fully invested in Team Real. There's too much backing to this, too much research and done to it, too many people on the internet that have tried to disprove it, that can't find any evidence to disprove it. That is absolutely insane. I'm just baffled. I'm baffled at this point, and I'm excited. And obviously, I think I'll just leave on this note since I'm fully in belief that we're looking at like the most real leak we've ever seen in the history of maybe even the history of Nintendo games at this point. Is that, are you excited that we now know all this information? Are you excited that this leak exists? Or are you disappointed that we didn't find out all this stuff through the official Nintendo method of unveiling things? Remember, this leak, the biggest claim it has to being real beyond all the evidence I already provided is that it was accidental. It was just a guy sharing a thing with his friends. It wasn't like, it's like me working at Nintendo and like taking an image of something in the office and just sharing it with Eric. And Eric decides, you know what, I'm going to anonymously post this in a Discord server. And I'm like, it's crazy to me that is, that happened. But, man, I hope the guy does. I mean, the problem is the guy's name is out there. So I'm really hoping he doesn't get fired. Unfortunately, because his name is out there, probably doesn't look good for him. And I feel for him, especially since I don't think he had any ill intent. He didn't want this out on the internet. But Snapchat with a group of people, not the best way to privately share things with friends that you want to let them know about that you don't want to get out and don't want to get in trouble for. So anyways, I guess I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm excited these are out here. I'm just excited. Like, Banjo-Kazooie, I'm just as excited now as I would be if Banjo-Kazooie was revealed officially. All that matters is that the characters are there. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think on this. Are you on Team Real? Are you on Team Fake? If you're on Team Fake, why are you on Team Fake? Is it just because this didn't come directly from Nintendo? Which, I mean, leaks rarely come from Nintendo. Like, the Simon Belmont thing was a rarity that it directly came from a Nintendo YouTube channel leaking some music. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think. I'm Nathaniel Rovajance from Nintendo Prime. If you like this video, you know what to do. And if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. Remember, we are giving away a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle down in the description. Click that Gleam.io link. It's absolutely free to enter. And I wish all of you guys luck. And I'll catch you in the next one.